Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. Hopefully, I can get through this stream because I just tried to stream and my stream just tweaked out of nowhere. But let's try this again. So, today we're going to be talking about a woman who is going viral all over YouTube and all over other social medias. Now, if you guys have been watching social media, then you would have seen this story of this woman by the name of Isis, who basically built her brand on being a trophy wife. Now, she talks about how to become a trophy wife. All of her content is centered on teaching women how to be the prize. She talks about her marriage with this man, and she talks about how, she became a certain type of version of herself to snag this high value man. And recently, she just came forward after building an entire brand on being a wife to say, oops, my bad. I married somebody who has been doing very bad things with my children. Now, I try to not talk about too many situations involving, this type of topic. Like when I do talk about this type of topic, I've learned over the years that a lot of times when you have like an opinion or like you look at something and you're like, thinking certain things, a lot of people internalize other people's stories. They project what happened to them. So I just a lot of times avoid these types of topics, but a lot of people have been sending this to me and wanting me to talk about it. So I'm going to touch on it just a little bit. Okay. So let's go to one of her videos. Before we go to this video that she posted that has 1 million views in 3 days, we're going to just breeze through some of her type of content. Now, the last video that I was looking at is this video right here. And it's basically titled how she went from a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than a year. So we're going to watch a little bit of this video, and then we're going to go into her viral video that's making its rounds all over social media. So this gives us a little background of her story and the type of content that she talks about, and then we'll go into the nitty and gritty.
Hey ladies, welcome back to the new Trophy Wife. Today I'm going to be sharing my story with you guys about how I went from being a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than 1 year. And you can too. So I had my first child when I was 17 years old. I intentionally got pregnant with my boyfriend at the time and basically turned into a child raising a child. A few years later, had my second child. So after having 2 children and being a single mom, I think that my self-esteem was definitely low. I didn't know that at the time, but if I think back about the kind of men that I was choosing, it definitely was a reflection of my lower self-esteem. I think that growing up, I was not taught the kind of men that I should be looking to attract and be in a relationship with. My mom drilled into me.
I'm laughing at the comments being out of pocket about my hair. But anyways, let's continue on this story and listen to her story, and before we get into the
I'll go with the man that's going to be the best breeder. And I think society drilled into me to go after the thug, the street dude, the swag type dude, or whatever you want to call it. But neither one of those was the best approach to going about dating and attracting a husband. So after having my second child, I was working hard. I was making really good money. I think I was making about maybe 90K at the time, which for me as a
thank y'all.
24-year-old woman was good. I thought I was doing good. I had my own place. I owned my car. I was very self sufficient, all about the mindset of, oh, I can do it by myself. I don't need a man, as so many of us modern women say, you know, I can do it all by myself. And I soon realized after one Christmas of it just being me and my two boys that I wanted a family. I wanted more for myself. It felt so lonely and it was sad. It was really sad. And it was, I'd say, one of the lowest points in my life. And I realized that I don't want to do this on my own. I don't.
All right, so I'm gonna pause her right there, and I'm gonna actually skip forward a little bit because I watched some of this. So basically, she starts out and she starts talking about how, you know, she didn't want the Pookies and the Ray Rays. She wanted a better value of a man. She wanted to have a family. And she started to have this desire after she had two children. Her first son being at 17 years old. And by the time she became 24 years old, she was a single mom of two and she was longing for a relationship. Now, she then talks about how she goes to one of her friends to try to figure out how she's going to go about getting this high value man that she wants. And her friend basically suggests to her to get on to online dating. And she found her husband, I want to say she said on eHarmony or something like that. So she got with him and she got with him on the dating site. So let me go up a little bit in the story because I just want to skip forward some and then let's hear some more.
I ended up taking my sister's advice and signing up for eHarmony. Yeah, she recommended Match, but in
Oh, it
my
was her
spirit,
sister.
I felt eHarmony. I don't know why. It's just something told me to do that one. So I ended up signing up for eHarmony. I created a profile, and I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband, my wife. And it was very different. My husband and I have a 20-year age gap, and he was not the first older man that I dated. I actually.
Big age gaps like that to me is always a little bit of a red flag. Like, I want to say, you know, since the married woman uh bitter club that are what is it, the single haters married club, single women haters married club, you know, brigade came after me. And one of the comments was this it was this comment from this girl who said that she was 33 years old and she was like, "Oh, you ain't never been loved. You don't know what love is. I'm married to a 52-year-old man and whoop de whoop whoop and all this stuff like that." And I'm just like, girl, that is not a flex. Being married to somebody that is was a grown man when you were not even born yet, that is not like, that's a red flag to me. That's like red flag number one. However, that's not the case for every situation. Now, there are some successful relationships that just work out and they happen to have that large of an age gap. But there's certain dynamics where there's a big age gap like that that is kind of like a red flag to me. You know what I mean? But doesn't mean that the person is a bad person because they want somebody 20 years their junior. But sometimes it's just, you know, it's like, what's up with the women that's your own age, you know?
We dated someone like 10 years older than me, and that was just a bust. A lot of people have told me that I'm very mature for my age, so someone 10 years older than me just wasn't a big enough age gap for me to vibe with. It just wasn't. Yeah. So when I met my husband, I knew right away almost.
I mean, I guess like if she was 24 when she dated somebody that was 10 years older than her, at 34 years old, or you know, a lot of men are not in their settled down completely phase. Like they still running the streets at 30. So if she was in her early 20s or mid 20s and they're in their mid 30s, I could see how they're not always completely settled down at that age, but I just don't like. And me personally, I'm a person who I feel like I'm mature for my age. Well, I'm kind of up there, so I mean, maybe I'm on par with my age because I'm kind of up there. But I just feel like for me, somebody that's a little bit older than me would work better. But 20 years older, I just feel like I would feel like my man is grandpa. Like, I don't know. I could probably do 10, but 20 is just, I don't know.
And people say that, but it was definitely true. I know it sounds cliche. Just from our first date, it just felt natural. I felt like I just had known this person already. It was so comfortable. So we went to a really nice seafood restaurant and it was great. It was an amazing first date. And mind you, I think we both were kind of just dating different people at the time. And that's definitely something that I recommend if you're looking to, find a husband, is not just dating one person at a time. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket, but we had a great first date, and I think he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend on the first date, and I said I would think about it. I know that
Somebody in the comments said, is that her husband in the background? See, that's the thing. When you go them 20-year age gaps, I can't tell if that's her daddy or if that's the husband. I really don't know. When I first looked at this, I was thinking, like, is this her husband in the back? But then I'm like, that could be her husband or her daddy. I don't know. 20-year difference. He could look like this as her husband or he could look like this as her daddy. So I really don't know. I'm a probably go with dad, but you never know. You never know.
that the universe guru talks about how you shouldn't fall into the girlfriend trap, and it was kind of something that I just intuitively knew, like, I'm not just gonna agree to be your girlfriend just after meeting you, because I know that you just want me to be your girlfriend so that you can get in my pants. So I didn't agree, and we both were, we were talking, but then for some reason we kind of stopped talking for a little while. And we both were dating other people and doing our own thing. And then I had gotten into a serious relationship with somebody, and I ended up falling for the girlfriend trap. But that guy had really been investing a lot into me and doing a lot for me, so I kind of felt like I had to agree to be his girlfriend because he asked me multiple times, and I finally agreed. So after me and him broke up, well, let me rewind. So me and him ended up breaking up because he just didn't really vibe with my oldest son, who was 5 at the time.
All right, so I guess she's talking about a guy who she dated before her husband. And the person who said, is she still giving dating advice? No, I was just basically showing the types of content that she would post. Like this next video I'm gonna click on. It says Trophy Wife Secrets: The Art of Staying Spoiled. So we'll just peep in on that one.
Small platform that I have a good reason for that, and that is because we are expecting another baby. We're expecting baby number 5, and we are so excited. But I really just needed some time to myself to focus on the pregnancy, to not have any sort of stress, and, just take care of the things that are important in my personal life. Not that you ladies are not important, but, this was very unexpected. It always sounds a little bit weird. It's because I have a cold, but if you're not married, but y'all are grown. So either way, I want to talk about staying spoiled as a wife to a high value man. This is a topic that I have had to learn to perfect over the last 4, almost 5 years that I've been married, and it's taken some work. It is not easy to maintain the same treatment that you may get in the courting phase from a man after he's basically already conquered you. You're his wife, he's used to you, he's seen you at your worst, you all live together, you may have children. It's a different ball game after life starts lifing and you're still trying to maintain good treatment in the relationship. So this video will be good for you if you're a future wife looking to become married to a provider man, you are currently married and looking to amp up the amount of attention that you're getting from your man, whether that be just good treatment in general, gifts, shopping sprees, very lavish gifts, jewelry, whatever it is. This is how I do it, and I want to teach you ladies how to do the same. So if you are interested, then you might need to get your notebook, okay? You might need to write these things. I just wasn't feeling myself. Are looking to be carrying yourself, worried about what our man is doing, and we need to be worried about ourselves. And a lot of times this can you know, those little booty shorts that he just likes when you walk by. Put on those kind of things. Do what it is that you know is going to entice him. Like, it doesn't have to be you're completely done up. It just has to be like something that catches his eye, something about you that you've done that is catching his eye. The second thing, ladies, is minding your business. So many women, myself included, are guilty of not minding our business.
And this why I won't be married, because I'm going to mind my business and I'm going to mind your business. If you in my space, in my body, putting your pickle in my little, I'm going to mind your and my business. So if it takes to not mind your business, child, I'm going to be happily single.
We are all worried about what our man is doing, and we need to be worried about ourselves. And a lot of times this can be the case when you are in a new relationship, or if you're feeling insecure, you can be doing this more than you would be if you were feeling secure, because you're like, oh, well, I don't feel good about myself. Like, oh, does he still love me? You know, those thoughts, it's natural for those thoughts to come into a woman's mind. And when you are overly concerned about what he is doing and all in his business, it doesn't create any room for mystery or for him to miss you. So you need to find those things that
I mean, you could be in his business and still be about your business too. Like, you could still leave and do what you gotta do and all that, but still be up on top of what he doing too. Like,
you enjoy doing, those passions that you have, different areas in your life that you can focus on outside of the relationship. And that could even just be the house. Like, it doesn't.
All right, let's see some more of her videos before we go into the actual video that's going trending.
Talk about this a lot. The first B in the 3 B's, and I would say it's one of the most important B's, is body. I didn't realize how
So this video is the 3 B's of a trophy wife, what you need to succeed. So she's basically teaching women like what they need to do in order to be a trophy wife.
Important a woman's body type was and being fit was until Kevin Samuels blew up. I know that he used to talk about this a lot, and it was really an eye-opening conversation for me because I didn't realize how much men pay attention to women's bodies. I think me as a woman, I determine a woman's beauty based off of her face and how well she puts herself together. And I think a lot of women rank a woman's beauty based off of those things. What is even more important than a woman's face for men is their body. That is why I placed this first on the list as the top B, because of how important it is in relationships, in dating, in attraction. I've broken down body.
All right, so that's the kind of content that she does. Basically, what she built her brand on is, you know, how to get man to treat you like a princess, how to be a trophy wife, how to level up to be a trophy wife, how she was a single mom and she turned into a trophy wife, and you know, beauty secrets, and you know, all kind of stuff like that. So then she came on the internet and she shared this very shocking video where she labeled it, "I married a monster." And like I said, she basically revealed that the guy that she married turned out to be a person who was a violation to her children. Now, I watched the entire video, and I'm not going to watch her entire video here, but once I was done watching the video, let's just watch some of it. So about the 6-minute mark is when she kind of starts the conversation. Like for 6 minutes, she kind of, I guess she's kind of like in her feelings. She doesn't really say much. So like once she gets to the 6-minute mark, then that's when she kind of starts to talk about it.
Changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, "Baby, did somebody touch you?" And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the.
All right. So, after she reveals and she basically talks about how, you know, she found this out, then she basically talks about how she wanted to come up with a plan to kind of like get her kids out of the house. She wanted to basically figure out how she can leave the house, take all her kids, and have an excuse to like gather all of them without her husband being suspicious about anything. So she basically told her husband that she was going to go shopping for Halloween stuff and she was going to go to her sister's house. And she said that when she left the house, she took her kids to the doctor and she ended up saying how she found out that both her daughters had been violated and things like that. Now, I'm going to fast forward it to the end because she goes to the hospital and everything like that. So then we'll go to the end.
And know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected. So I don't know what the future of this channel is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to change the name or what. Yeah.
So she then ends her video just like that. So once I watched it, obviously my heart goes out to her. I think that as a mother, that is news that no mother ever wants to get from their children. You never want to hear that your child was violated. You never want them to have their innocence taken away, and especially by someone who's supposed to be their protector. Now, me as a viewer, I mean, she doesn't owe us all of the answers, but as a watcher, I'm just kind of like one of those people, and I guess people probably be mad at me for saying this, but hey, I'm just one of those type of people who, like, I feel like if you are going to share and you are going to give certain details, it's like I was watching and I'm like, okay, so what happened to the guy? Like, did he get arrested? Did the police come? Like, is he going to jail? You know, like, did you check out what happened with your other boys? Like, are your sons safe? Are you safe? Are you in danger now? You know, I had like a ton of other questions, and then I was just like, okay, it's very sad and heartbreaking for something like that to happen. But then I was like, is this something that is being, like, you know, gonna be something that you now are using to kind of like make into like a series or something, like to keep like leaving people on like cliffhangers and stuff like that? You know, I don't know. It's her story to tell. If you are going to monetize off the story, I guess she has the right to. Obviously, it's her story, but I don't know. Certain stuff like this, like, the main thing I wanted to know was, did he go to jail? Did he get arrested? Was 911 called? Is that nigga dead? Is he stumped in the ground? And I'm like, that's why I try not to cover these type of topics, because I be feeling like once I get a certain amount of information, I be feeling like entitled to the rest of the story. And obviously, you know, it's her story to tell. She could tell what she wants to. But like, when I didn't know if even the police was called, I was like, huh? You said I can't see monetize off the story. She's definitely monetizing off this story. She made sure that she didn't say any trigger words. She talked very vaguely. She talked very safe. She didn't use any words that would trip up the algorithm at all. So to me, that, and it was edited, very nicely. And so, she's monetizing off of it. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's her story, but I just feel like if you are going to out somebody, like Rose said, protecting this man is ridiculous. Like, we should know what he looked like. We should know, like, is he a danger to other children? Has he violated other children? Like, what does he look like so other people who date him can be aware of, the situation? So I don't know. It just left me with a couple of questions. I don't know what y'all think about it. Like I said, hopefully he is in jail. Hopefully he is not ever released to violate another child. And hopefully, if the story is true, and I hope she would never lie about something like that, but hopefully he spends the rest of his natural life in behind bars. And I just feel like people who violate children or hurt children, the punishments are way too easy. They go to protective custody, you know what I mean? They're like in this protected unit and all of these things. And I just feel like if you violate a child, like, them punishments like need to be a little harsher. Like, they'll give somebody like 100 years for selling weed, but then they'll give somebody who do stuff like that like 5 years or something, so hopefully it works out. Hopefully she gets her daughters into therapy. They're young enough to hopefully not remember, once they get older. Obviously trauma kind of, is embedded from a very young age, and the 4-year-old is old enough to remember. But hopefully her 2-year-old, she gets them into therapy and they don't have lifelong effects from it. But that video was going viral. It's all over my news feed. It's been getting sent to me with people wanting me to cover it, so I on it. But I don't really like to do a lot of stories like that because my mind starts to go in a whole bunch of questions. You know what I mean? I start thinking about all kind of different stuff. And a lot of people, like I said, they will start to like project, like, if they've been through a trauma, they've been through something. So they'll start inserting like what happened to them into the situation and stuff like that. In my mind, I just be thinking, critically about certain things, like, where the babies? Are they safe? Are they good? Like, is the nigga under the jail? Like, did we whoop his ass? Something like that. But I don't know. I just wanted to make sure I did a video for y'all today. Today was a long day for me. It was a really long day. I started out my day watching the trial, the YSL trial. And by the time it was over, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get my daughter from school and then come and do videos. And then I end up cooking dinner, and it just did not work out the way that I planned my day. But I wanted to, now that I'm settled in. Oh, yeah, and I was, like, trying to do, like, this new hairstyle. It wasn't working out. I just said, you know what? Forget it. We just gonna roll it just like that. Because I wasn't really satisfied with the little bun, but I was like, child, we just gonna roll with it. So, yeah, that's that. You guys let me know what you guys think about it. And the people who have been in the people who have encountered a situation like this, what advice can you give to mothers going through something like this and to prevent something like this? Now, me, I never been married, but I just know I was always raised like, just like, you know, you don't leave your, like, she married the man and she had kids with him and those were his biological kids. So I know that's kind of a different dynamic, but in the dating stages, I be seeing a lot of girls who be leaving they kids with dudes. Like, I got a homeboy, love him to death, but he was dating this girl and he had only been dating her for like a month, not even a month, and she had young daughters and she was having him babysit her kids. And I told my homeboy, I'm like, to protect yourself, you shouldn't be babysitting those kids. Like, I know that you probably will never do anything like that, but just the simple fact that I was just like, no, like, I was like, you never know if she'll try to accuse you of something. You know, I was like, like, and her kids is little girls and all of that. I'm like, no, that's just crazy. So y'all gotta be more protective of your children. You know, like, I was like, what is going, like, and I understand not everybody has the same village. And I'm thankful to have a mom who helps me with my daughter, and then I have her father also who, you know, we have shared custody or whatever. But like, a lot of girls be leaving their children unprotected with these men that they barely know. And we got to stop that. Like, and not we as in I do that, because no. But ladies, stop that. Okay? But if you guys have any advice, leave it in the comments to other mothers on how to navigate, you know, if they don't have a village, what to do if they don't have a village to get care for their children but protect their kids, or, you know, if they, like, how to navigate all these different nuances with children and what it takes to keep them protected. Each one teach one. So y'all leave y'all advice to mothers down below, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video.